Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about how to create a single linked list. Hope the concept was clear. Now in this video, let's talk about how to insert a new node in a single linked list. So let's say this is our single linked list having 6 nodes in it. And as we can see that each of the nodes has values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Since it is a single linked list, the last node references to null. Apart from all of that, all the nodes reference to next node in the list. So node 1 references to node 2 whose address is 111. Node 2 references to node 3 whose address is 222 and so on. Head of course always points to the first node of the list and tail always points to the last node in the list. Now let's see how we can insert a new node in this list. So when we are inserting a new node in the list, we can encounter 3 scenarios. That is, insert the new node at the start of a linked list, insert the new node at the last of a linked list, or insert a new node at specified location in the list. So the core logic of inserting a node remains same in all of them with a slight difference. Hence, let's talk about all these 3 scenarios separately one by one. So the first scenario is we want to insert a new node at start of a linked list. So for that, the steps are very simple. All that we have to do is, first we have to create a blank node. So let's say this is our blank node. Now the next step is we have to insert our desired value in this node. Let's say we want to save value 5 in this. Now the next step is we have to link this node before node 1, since we want this node to be the first node in this list. So for that, all that we have to do is we have to save the reference of node 1, which is 001 in this node. So as soon as we save 001, automatically a reference gets created from this node to this node. Now the last step is that head should now point to this new node instead of node 1. So for that, all that we have to do is we have to update the address over here from 001 to, let's say, 002, which is nothing but the address of this new node. So this will automatically disconnect the connection between head and node 1, and it will establish a connection between head and node 0. So that is all about how we can insert a new node at the start of a linked list. Now let's see how we can insert a new node at the end of a linked list. So for that, the steps again remains very similar. That is, first we create a blank node. Let's say this new node is a node 7. So the second step is we have to insert a value. Let's say we want to store 70 here. The next thing we want to do is reference of it needs to be initialized with null, because there is no more node after this node. Now the next step is we have to do a linking between node 6 and 7. So for that, all that we have to do is we have to update the reference variable of node 6 from null to 666, which is nothing but the address of node number 7. Now as soon as we insert a reference in node 6, a link gets created between node 6 and node 7. Now the last step that we have to do is we have to update tail reference, because tail always references to the last node. So now 555 is not the last anymore. Now 666 is the last node. So once we update the value here, the link of this gets updated from node 6 to node 7. So till now no more points to node 6, it starts pointing to node 7. So with that, we have successfully inserted a new node at the end of a linked list. Now let's see how we can insert a new node at specified location. So let's say we want to insert a new node in between node 3 and 4. So how we can do that? So the step again remains little similar, that is, first we have to create a blank node. Let's say this is node 3.5. So we have to insert a value in this first. So let's say I want to insert value 36. Now the next step is we have to loop from the first node and come till node number 3, because we have to do some adjustment in this reference variable over here. So we loop from node 1, we go to node 2, we come to node 3. Now once we reach node 3, the first thing that we have to do is we have to copy this address 333 into node 3.5. So we put 333 over here. Now why we are doing that? We are doing it because we want to create a link between node 3.5 and node 4. Now once this link is created, the next step that we have to do is we have to disconnect node 3 and 4, and we have to establish a link between node 3 and node 3.5. So for that, all that we have to do is we have to update the reference of node 3 to, let's say, 337, which is nothing but the address of node 3.5. So once we do that, a link gets created between node 3 and 3.5, and the existing link gets destroyed. So this is how we successfully inserted a new node in between node 3 and node 4. So now that we have understood all the 3 cases of insertion, in the next video let's see how does the algorithm of all these 3 cases looks like. So that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for your time.